kanssa. Silloin se oli ihan semmoista oikein maiskuttelua.
Aina jos on maitoa, niin sitä kyllä käytän, mutta jos sitä ei ole, niin sit se on pakko vetää musta.
Which means there's only one thing left to do. It's countdown time, and I'll see you in a sec.
30 sekuntia.
Valojuova ammuksia. Kun on tommosia viivoja.
Mitä?
On kyllä suhteellisen hämärä toi.
Aloittaako bangerilla?
Ois aika jees.
Varmaan aloittaa taas. Moro, it's a mikä Sean ja sit se on se vitun British sounding ass nainen siinä.
Nyt kyllä muuten tässä tulee.
British?
Tässä tulee uusi povinta tää.
Hey everyone, welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2022. I'm Day 9 still, one of your hosts, joined again by the amazing Mika Burton. Hi. While we may look like elaborate Unreal Engine renders, we are here in the flesh, as is the hardware, bringing you the best and brightest in the world.
Miksi toi näyttää tää vitun Lazy Town hahmot tää mies? Sellainen mä kuvailisin tota.
Joo, se on se pormestari.
Kyllä, just se vahanaama. Eiks tuukin mieleen?
On, ihan just se.
Kato nyt tota.
Sai siitä tekoälystä tehtyä oikean henkilön.
Quite literally explosively. Yeah. There was a robot who tried to destroy the human race, electrocuted me. I think I died.
Definitely died.
Either way, I'm not really sure. It was standard robot apocalyptic stuff. Just minus the overbearing anime dad and existential crises.
Yeah, well, actually, what happened to DevBot anyway? Wasn't he supposed to come back for this show for like Revenge of the DevBot?
Well, he's dead.
Oh.
We melted him down to try to make our own graphics cards since they're still hard to find, and I would say he's in a better place, but I played Cyberpunk 2077 and he's not.
That's pretty dark for a
nostalgic. But none of that matters because the show actually took place
in
parallel reality.
All right, so you're telling me there's actually a multiverse?
According to the writers who told me this 5 minutes before we went live, I am saying there's a multiverse.
All right.
We're now apparently on Earth 3, which is not to be confused with E3 because this show is still happening.
Oh, and we are so thrilled to be back as a part of this weekend full of celebrations of gaming by putting the spotlight on something near and dear to our hearts.
I love gaming.
PC gaming.
And so, without any further ado, it's time for my favorite part.
Rated M for mature.
Siellä on pari noita liikkeitä, kun se on toi ihme waterflow dance ja sit niitä muita. Se on niin samannäköisen aloitusasento. Se miekka vaan eri kulmassa. Sitten kun se päättää tehdä sen sun tossa päällä, niin sä tiedät kumpi se sieltä tulee, kun sä näet vaan sen jalkapohjat.
Niinpä.
Cloud looking ass. Se Cloudin näköinen vitun jäbä.
Mulle tuli vaan riveen mieleen.
Ei voi olla hyvä. Tää oli vaan plus 17.
Niinpä ei oo äijäpeli.
Ei oo äijäpeli.
Ei oo äijäpeli.
Riven nimellä on Cloudin miekka.
Niinpä. Se on FPS-tikkiä tuossa. Jin on siinä, oh my god.
Jep, Jinikin, oh my god, ja se on League of Legends. Ja Camillekin siellä, oh my god.
Niin.
Artemis.
Mortana olisi Morgan. Kato, on se Rivelin miekka.
Darius.
Se kuin Darius.
Voidi on joku hahmo.
You are here with me. I always will be. As long as we are together, we're not going down. They wanted yet another monster. They shall have one.
Vitun jokeri, mä oon tämmösen jokeri kakkonen.
Yeah. Solstice. Solstice.
SCP-logo, oh my god.
Oh.
September!
Do you remember?
Mä en nyt oikein saanut gameplay irti.
Niin, tässä ei nyt oikein ollut niinku peliä.
Mutta onko se niinku hack and slashin näköinen vähän niinku
Meillä otan tuon ihan periaatteesta wishlistille.
Heti kun näkyy gameplaytä, niin mietin asiaa.
Mikä vittu se oli? Soul Strike?
Se.
Play.
Ei. No niin. Okei.
Vittu, mitä mulle tuli vaan tästä mieleen.
Don't Starve.
Kyllä.
No sama David. Don't Starven tekijöitä.
Tuli Castle Crashers gameplays.
Rotwood.
Hei, onks Clay muka tehnyt tämän Don't Starve?
No.
God damn, Clay on tehnyt myös...
Aika kolmonen vuotta. Kysymysmerkiksi Dem.
Oli 4-3-2 ja sit se meni kysymykseen.
Se tuli jo viime vuonna Early Accessiin. MV2 Breaching.
Jep.
Kato, XCOM olisi missannut kyllä tosta kohtaa.
Jep.
Rewind time.
Huijaa itse. Jep, se just kun mitä itses voittaa. Jaha, sieltä Half-Life-alarmi.
Tässä on nyt vähän liian monta asiaa mun mielestä sotkettuna.
On vaan kaikki koko ajan heittämään ikkunoista ulos.
Tää näyttäähän siistin.
Ja wallbangattu.
Tactical Bridge Wizards.
Bridge Wizard. Tää meni.
Demoni ostaa.
Jep.
Wizards.cool. Damn.
Tactical Breach Wizards, a turn-based game of sorcery and SWAT team strategy from the makers of Gunpoint and Heat Signature. My strategy personally is very simple. Breach, bang, clear, magic missile, dramatic flourish, abra, cadaver. Get it? Cadaver, dead body. Next, we have a solution to the age-old problem of not having time to read and play video games. Just do both at the same time, obviously. Star Wars Industries has you covered with their sci-fi thriller inspired by Stanislaw Lem's novel, The Invincible. So here's your first look at the first ever gameplay footage.
World premiere.
Yep.
Hold it, wow.
You. What have you done?
No Turbo on oottanut tätä, okei.
You came here yourself. So what are you
En muista
expecting,
enää.
You've set up a field camp down there. Yes, ma'am. So I didn't expect you to have a second one here.
Really? Sit here and don't you dare move. What are you doing here?
You're not gonna like this part.
Invincible.
Pyritkö sitä sarjasta enemmän?
Early beta in-game footage. Ei ollut tällä kertaa pre-alpha footage.
Ei. Ne on oppinut.
Jep.
Damn, when it's done. Tuohon Tactical Breach Wizards.
Niin.
Eipä lupailla.
The radiation level is growing rapidly. It's starting to get interesting.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that, Doctor.
I located the mobile antimatter cannon.
Another one? How many of those did they... active?
Dead.
I admire your composure.
Wait, someone's here.
Millä se resi kakkosen ne vitun piippuu putsat noista vitun valoista.
Joo.
Astrogator, they're dead.
So you found someone. Fortunately, such unpleasant discoveries are indispensable to the mission.
I didn't let that thought get to me. I was counting on this meeting very much. At worst, it could have been another abandoned place, but not this.
But what exactly?
That's a good question. I'm getting into the recorder. What do we have here? Uh-huh. They made their way through with a beam of antimatter.
How subtle. Did you locate this passage?
I'm looking at it now. They pierced a hole several meters in diameter and several dozen meters long. Yes. My head feels like it's bursting from pressure.
Can you continue?
Yes. I'm better now. Actually, there's nothing here that I haven't seen before. There are a lot of metal bushes that were near our camp. The lower parts of the bushes are... How to put it?
Trimmeriä tarvii kunnon ketju, että se oikeesti.
They came to pick the fruits.
This robot looks like it has started its task and got stuck.
What task?
This is one of the robots carrying containers with research material. It took the container, but never left that place.
Why do you think it's stuck?
Well, it goes in circles using the same path. The robot's gone.
You must have broken his loop.
But I didn't.
No, he must have done something. Never mind. Follow it. What, a robot?
No! Antimat!
Come on, Yasna. Run. Hide.
Rip Robo.
Yasna, are you alive?
Yes, it's fucked up the robot.
What's it doing now?
Oh no.
Hyvä mennä sen naaman eteen, että pällistelemään.
Just sanottiin, että me ei
Most insane main character.
It's time to take a pit stop at the nearest dungeon to prove that chivalry isn't dead. And if you think I emphasize those words weirdly, you're right. And it'll all make sense momentarily when you see these next 4 games, especially when you hear from our friends at Tripwire Interactive. Roll that beautiful footage.
Wire? Ei kun niin Chivalry. Ei mitään. Ei se oo Killing Floor.
There you go.
You don't have what it takes. You'll be back here too scared to try again. Cause the dungeon will turn you into lunch meat. Unless you're way tougher than you look. We got the guns, the turrets, the upgrades. But what you really need is guts and skills.
Okei,
Grab your posse and say your
Eikö
prayer.
tätä näytetty joskus?
Me ollaan nyt sanottu 7 kertaa.
Be the first to play.
Kyllä jotenkin näyttää tutulta.
To die.
Olisiko ollut viime vuoden PC-gameisuus?
To give your
Ja tai... Isometristä tuommoista sieltä näytettiin.
Do you have what it takes?
No. Sorry, I'm really bad at games.
Hörmöl.
Oh yes.
Welcome to F1 Manager 2022, the ultimate F1 simulation.
Mistä
Putting
joo,
you in the
vähän
position
peli
of team principal at one of the 10 current F1 teams, battling it out for a chance to be the next world champion. Choose your team and drive every decision that leads to you making your mark on the grid, and hopefully the podium. Winning championships depends on your ability to make the right calls on and off the track. During races, you'll mastermind strategy, plan tyre stints for each driver, and make changes on the fly when necessary. Issue driver callouts, such as instructing them to attack or defend, manage their tyre wear and battery usage, or even to avoid battling a teammate, all while reacting to dynamic events like race incidents and fluctuating weather and track conditions. Between race weekends, you'll control every detail of your team from your state-of-the-art headquarters. Hire best-in-class staff to work across your aerodynamics and engineering teams and put them to the task to develop your car and prepare new parts for upcoming races. Optimize your finances to keep the board happy, improve and maintain your facilities, and scout talent from F2 and F3 to try and ensure future success. They say knowledge is power, and keeping a close eye on a plethora of realistic data will help give you the edge. From the finer details of how car parts affect overall performance, to a track's expected grip level, to the condition of your wind tunnel, how you analyze the data and choose to spend your resources will make or break your progress. You'll find depth and detail in abundance, even down to real-world team radio messages between drivers and engineers, and race commentary from David Croft and Karun Chandok. While broadcast-style
Real commentaries. Ei vittu, kun tää on märkää.
Opin the ass of Timo.
Jep.
The sleek management menus and intuitive controls will drive the immersive F1 fantasy home as you plan and execute the perfect strategy in F1 Manager 2022. Pre-order the digital version now for early access from August
24th. Läpi perseeseen, niin jos entinen äijä. 300 kilsaa tunnissa, niin just box.
Hey everyone, after 1 year of Chivalry 2, we've more than doubled the size of the game, and now we're excited to bring even more knights onto the battlefield. Because today, right now, Chivalry 2 is out on Steam with crossplay between all platforms. This is our biggest update to the game yet, and it brings players to an
all-new Killing Floor 2 joku vitun kesä eventti.
Vähän pitäis se gun-gamekin tulla kotiin.
We want to thank our community for making the game the success that it's been so far, and if you haven't played it yet, now is the best time to check out Chivalry 2. Take a look at our new trailer that shows off the new update, Snowsian Invasion.
This rebellion is at an end. The Agapians flee to their stronghold in the north. This land is mine! Now Denosia rises from the south. Kill them all! Throw the dogs back into the desert.
Taas se
Wilhelmit siellä.
If the wall falls, we must retaliate. Ready the ships! Long has Senosia remained safe from my fury. No more. They dare to strike out at us. Their city will fall. Their people will bleed. Their knowledge will burn. My reign will never end.
Hi everyone, I'm Phil from Sweet Bandits, live from Quebec City. Really glad to be here today for the PC Gaming Show. We'll be showing the first trailer for our game, Deceive Inc. It's a multiplayer competitive spy game where you get to use social stealth, high-tech gadgets, and powerful spy abilities to try and get the upper hand.
Powerful spy abilities. Tässä on 9-billiset.
So this is only the beginning. Please follow us on social media at Play Deceiving to learn more. We'll be releasing the game in early 2023 on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and PS5. Thank you so much, and let's enjoy the trailer.
Good afternoon, agents. Your mission is simple. Infiltrate the first coral underwater hotel.
Joo, Hitman is Diane.
Weapon. As you know, Deceive Inc.'s company policy is to deploy multiple agents to ensure the mission's success. But only one will get the paycheck. Do whatever it takes, agent, and be careful out there.
Try your best. Let's see if it's enough. Booyah! Ka-ching! Oh, come on. They can't be this fast.
And they thought it was secure. In the end, I am victorious.
They're really not gonna make it easy for me. Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Is that it?
Catchphrase.
Right on target. Outskilled and outgunned.
It can't end like this.
Target acquired. Moving to rendezvous point.
Otat muut tekee objektiivit, sit vaan tapaat se äijä.
Jep.
Mä en jaksa lähteä tekemään objektiivit.
Mission complete.
Onko ihan fani, et voi olla niinku proppi kans tuolla?
Is this game mode? Is this prop hunt?
Näyttää kyllä vähän Fortnite-hahmoilta, mutta...
Do you ever have a reoccurring dream that you really wish would come true? I mean, mine personally involves a flight of unicorns and a Valkyrie army on Pegasuses, but you know, yours may be different, but you know, somehow I doubt it. This year, we've partnered with the PC builders at iBuyPower to bring a very different dream to life. My dream PC room. Unfortunately, there's bad news for me. I don't get to keep it. But very good news for one of you. We're going to be giving the entire contents of this room away to a lucky winner watching the show. So let's dive in and see what's up for grabs. The beating heart of any PC gaming dream room is, of course, the rig, so let's start there. As you can see, the mad geniuses at iBuyPower have built an absolute doozy. The first thing you'll notice is that height Y60 case with its wraparound tempered glass panels. This thing is built from the ground up to display the sickest PC tech you can squeeze into a desktop machine. And let's face it, if you've managed to bag a serious graphics card in these dry times, you owe it to the silicon gods to show it off properly. Okay, the case and lighting looks dope, but for this to be a true dream PC, we need more than just state-of-the-art drip. Luckily, the substance matches the style. So let's check out the guts of our dream PC, and trust me, there's plenty of power crammed in. The big question, though, is what pixel pusher iBuyPower has used, and you won't be disappointed with an overclocked RTX 3090 from Gigabyte, right? This 24GB monster of a GPU packs the cooling to stay chill and the power to smash through any game you throw at it. The graphics card is the rig's MVP, but any superstar needs some dope backup, and the fastest gaming CPU around, the Intel 5.5GHz Core i9 12900KS with 32GB of DDR5 RAM and 2TB of seriously fast SSD storage, both from ADATA, makes up the perfect support team. Whew, that is a whole lot of PC. But Mika, you may greedily wonder, what about the peripherals? Well, animal lovers, we got you covered, because the Height Eclipse wireless headset comes in plush vegan leather trim with a 30-hour battery life and competition-grade 2.4GHz connection. And you noisy typers are going to love the clicky-clacky mechanical keyboard that comes with it. Oh, I'm sorry, what was that? RGB? Well, of course! The keyboard and mouse both light up like Atlantic City on a Saturday night. And yeah, you can turn it off so you can actually get some sleep. You can find out more about this gear feature today over at
Mulla
ibuypower.com.
mun
but I know
ledit
what you
menee pois
really
päältä, kun
want.
koneen laittaa
The
pois
info
päältä.
on how to win this beastly setup. So here are the details.
Thanks, Mika. Yes, folks, it couldn't be easier to enter our Dream PC giveaway. For your chance, just head over to pcgamer.com/dreampc and follow the simple instructions. There, you'll find a complete breakdown of the prize, which, don't worry, also comes with some very swish monitors as well as the eligibility rules. Good luck, gamers.
That is right. Just head over to pcgamer.com/dreampc for your chance to win. But for now, let's get back to the games. From Kepler Interactive and A44 Games comes Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn, an action RPG from the team behind Ashen, where gods and guns collide.
Eikö Ashen ollut se joku Dark Souls-mainen Battle Royale?
Joo, se oli semmonen Souls-like. Mä mietin tänään aikaisemmin, missähän se oikein on se peli.
From the great below, we saw them as saviors. Instead, they unleashed a pestilence on our world. No one yet knows if you can kill a god. I, for one, intend to find out.
Pistin Doddy-kuvan, mä tein tällaisen botilla tommosen kuvan.
Nice.
Tuliks tää Xbox-sijoitus?
Joo,
tuli kyllä joo. Nopeasti unohtui. Creature.
Hey PC Gaming Show, I'm Derek Bradley, the CEO of A44 Games and creative director of Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn. Flintlock is set in a world ruled by old gods, and so as humanity, you now have the power of black powder and bombs and flintlock rifles to finally overthrow the gods and take the world back. You'll play as Nor, a Blackstream sapper, one of the elite explosives experts of the Coalition forces. Nor herself has a personal vendetta against the gods and will stop at nothing to get her revenge. But you won't be going it alone.
I must kill
When Nor brings
gods.
firepower, her fox-like companion Enki brings magic to the battlefield. You will have to master a combination of axe combat and gunplay, while your companion Enki uses his magical powers to disrupt enemies. We can't wait to show you more of Flintlock before it's released next year. Head over to our socials for more info, and don't forget to wishlist now on Steam and Epic Game Store. Have a great show.
Coming up next, a mysterious new sci-fi game from 11-Bit Studios, the creators of This War of Mine. Hear all about it in our exclusive...
Creators of This War of Mine.
We'll also show you what's next for Outriders from Square
Joo,
Enix
se on se
and
Frostpunk
Fly.
varmaan.
Plus, if you look back on high school and think, you know, those 4 years would have been better if I was fighting literal demons, you're definitely going to want to study up on our next world-exclusive independent game inspired by the Persona series. Chug your health potions now because there is so much more PC Gaming Show coming your way. Before we go, the folks at Compass Data Centers have a little quiz for you. How much higher is 5G's data capacity compared to current 4G networks? Scan this QR code and answer the question for a chance to win $500 worth of stuff from Razer, or visit gaming.compassdatacenters.com. Okay, now back to the PC game.
Ready to game the system? Meet Mana. You slay. You achieve. You win. So should your bank account, because your power shouldn't stop when the game does. Mana is the best gaming rewards debit card where you can earn perks and points by paying and playing, and get rewarded with the things you actually want, like that skin you can't wait to show off, or your next gear upgrade. So why pay any other way? Pay with Mana. Pay with power. Mana. Game the system.
So I know what you're thinking, and the answer is yes. It's time to talk about The Alters, the brand new game from 11-Bit Studios. The Warsaw-based studio made us cry in this war of mine, make difficult choices in the face of climate apocalypse in Frostpunk.
Sen kun alareuna paska lähti irti game.
Children of Morta. The Alters sends us to the deepest, darkest reaches of space in a survival story that is guaranteed to give you an existential crisis in a good way. This is a really big moment for this year's show.
No niin, mitä missattu?
Ei mitään.
Ei mitään.
Näytti uudestaan sitä vitun Xboxin Souls tuli se Flintlock, se Woman with Axe ja sitten se on joku ihme creature siinä. Annettiin lisää. Tää on tuolta This War of Moneyn tekijöiltä tää.
It's the new Cyberpunk.
Tai Frostpunk 2.
Frostpunkin tekijöiltä Frostpunk 2.
On vähän liian skiffin näköä kyllä, tai ainakin mitä nyt on.
Ja mun mielestä sanoo sen pelin nimeä, jos ei ollut. Mä en saanut selvää mikä se oli.
Aliens.
Kaikki samannäköisiä. Ja kloonien.
It's literally me.
Alters. Ihan vitusti ollut avaruuspelejä, jep.
Lammas.
Joining us now to talk about what we just saw all the way from Poland is Tomasz Kasilewicz of 11-Bit Studios. Welcome to the PC Gaming Show, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Hello.
Okay, there is a lot to unpack there. We got clones, we got this huge wheel. Tell us, what did we just see?
Well, first of all, these guys were not exactly the clones. We saw Jan, our main character, who's traveling with a group of the Alters, who are the alternative versions of the same person. And they are going through this distant alien planet in their mobile base, which was the wheel you saw at the end.
So what's the player's goal as they're progressing through the story?
So you are a space builder stranded on this distant planet, and your goal is to survive and find a way back home. But the thing is, in order to do so, you need to create those alters, as each one of them have different set of skills and character traits. So these are things necessary for your survival and finding a way back home.
So from the trailer, tonally this could be a horror, a thriller, a mystery. What should players expect?
Actually, there are bits of everything you mentioned. Like, there is this mystery as we're looking deep into the soul of the character, but what you find there can also be pretty scary. So there are those beats of psychological horror and drama, but then on top of it we have this quite thick layer of surreality. I mean, how surreal would it be to one day, you know, wake up next to a little different alternative version of your very self.
Now, there's a quote that you shared with me earlier, that man cannot remake himself without suffering, for he is both the marble and the sculptor. How does this quote relate to the story?
So this quote, it relates directly to the main theme of our game. We as people, we are shaping ourselves every single day with every single decision that we are making. This process, the whole process of becoming who we are, it can be quite painful at times. But in our game, Jan, the main character, he has this unique possibility of not only shaping himself, but also reshaping himself numerous times with every single altar that he is creating.
Do you see this as more of a classic sci-fi story, something like a Ray Bradbury work, or is it something more contemporary?
Well, it is very classic sci-fi in a way that we are taking a relatable topic and we are using the sci-fi theme, we are using the sci-fi setting to look at it through the magnifying lenses. But then when we're choosing the tools, this is a very contemporary game and we're taking advantage of what video games are as a medium. So we're using tools like systematic design and non-linearity in order to put the players in the middle of the experience and in the end allow them to create their own stories inside the game.
I wanted to ask a little bit about the relationship of your previous titles to the altars, whether there's any narrative or themes or even just influence that those games had on this one.
Well, the altars is purely 100% our game, 11-bit Studios game, and it's created in line with our meaningful entertainment philosophy. So it's a game we hope that it will make you think even after you stop playing it. This War of Mine was this first huge milestone. It paved the way for all the future titles. And with Frostpunk, it was taken to another level with the strong focus on the emergent narrative. And now with the altars, we want to follow that path, but we also really want to push the boundaries even further and expand on how we approach meaningful topics inside the design of our games.
Thanks so much again to Tomasz and the whole team at 11-bit Studios for joining us today. And while I try to find enough Rapidium to make it through day 1 to 8, let's head on over to Mika and keep things rolling like a massive space station.
Thanks, Day9. Honestly, I need to look into getting myself cloned so I can make time to play all of these awesome games we've seen so far. But I'm also legitimately worried about having to eventually fight my clone in single hand-to-hand combat when they steal my life, making me wonder if I was the clone all along. Is it really worth it for video games? Yeah, no, it's totally worth it for video games. Anyway, that's a problem for future Mika. Present Mika is much more interested in what you all have been saying about the show so far. So keep letting us know your thoughts by using #PCGamingShow on all platforms. Now, let's get back to the real reason all here. Cloning. I mean video games. Video games.
Äijäpeli mahdollisesti. Ei kun se on Destiny. Ei kun se on se Outriders. Default Destiny kun näytti niitä. Sama vitsi, toistaa itseään.
Tää oli kyllä jotain kaunista tää peli. Tomi jättää ostamatta.
Hän meni hypeen.
Hän meni hypeen. Oho.
Miksi tääkin ollut siinä Xboxissa?
Oli.
Eri.
Give me your strongest potions.
Tää on eri peli.
Potion Cell.
Niin.
Sama artstyle saatana. Oikeesti joku eli mikä nimi on Potion Seller?
Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator tai joku semmonen. Joo, just semmonen. Potion Craft Alchemist Simulator.
Näköjään.
Steamista
When
12.49.
lets you open your own medieval potion shop, you get hailed as a master alchemist. But when I do it, I get a sternly worded letter from my landlord about how my cauldron violates our lease agreement. Whatever, it's his loss. But more importantly, folks, we promise you the maximum amount of games humanly possible, and we aim to deliver quite literally.
Oh fuck.
Damn, Paw Patrol lähti vähän lapasesta.
Jep.
Karismassa oli eilen joku toi vitun haukkujengi.
Joo, no kiertän nyt Suomea.
Ai ryhmähau, sehän se oli.
Ryhmähau.
Haukkujengi.
Oh my god, Hotline Miami 3.
Luulin jo soundtrackin puolesta hetkeä aikaa. XCOM, mutta meleen.
Oh my god, se on Deckbuilderi.
Vittu.
Vois testaa?
Milloin Mikko tästä tuo playthrough? Näyttää sivulta, mutta ei sivulta.
Before your eyes
Me through,
lies the
kid.
celestial islands, a world of peace above the clouds, protected by 4 great houses.
Naraka Blade Point jälleenkö? Ei kun ei. Ei voi
Taas
olla.
korttitelee.
I love card games.
Maho Kenshi.
Maho Kenshi.
Planet Earth, our beautiful
Nyt on
to protect it,
Killing Floor.
to explore the unknown.
Tulee Announcerista ja Horizon Horizon logoista. Unikki mappi taas ainakin. Wow, mitä ei. Niin olisikin ne.
We surge forward, obliterating the enemies of progress, but we refuse to let these victories go to our heads. We are the future. We are Ozine.
Fun game.
Now it's time to give you an exclusive
Ei oo
briefing
varaa pidempiin
on what's
trailereihin.
next for PC gaming's titans of modding, simulation, and scale. Arma 4. Last month, developer
Jesus.
Interactive kicked things off by releasing Arma Reforger on Steam in early access. This playable prototype will be a foundation for Arma 4. And with it playable on Steam now, we have a ton of questions about the future of Arma. I mean, after all, this is the series that helped birth the survival genre through DayZ. Oh, and also this other little niche genre you may have heard of called Battle Royale. To help us peer into the future for this project, we've got none other than Bohemia Interactive. Thank you so much for joining us. So as of right now, Arma Reforger has been out for about a month. What is it that you've been learning or seeing from players?
At first, we've learned that players like Reforger a lot and they appreciate the work we've put into it. We also realized they like modding a lot and they review this as a key quality of our games. And we were very pleased by the reactions of both our community and the new players who immediately started flooding internet with videos, playthroughs and praise of our new technology. So we are very glad that the reception was so good.
So there's no doubt players who have been longtime fans of the franchise stepping into Arma Reforger, and I'm curious, what were some of the big challenges of rebuilding that specific Arma feel from the ground up in this brand new engine?
Well, it's a very tricky subject because even internally it's an ongoing kind of fight. So I'm myself very much on the very purist side of things. So no HUD, no save games, no superficial helpers, and this fight can get very intense even in-house. So I'm the real Arma purist, and I'm on this for 25 years now, so I will keep fighting, but obviously this is part of the fun. So there's always never-ending battle. I think 2 years ago we really struggled to keep it Arma and even internally preserve our own standards.
Mikä
so
aksentti
do it
toi
our
on
own way
kiinnostaa?
rather than replicate it
Generic European.
in other games, because our goal is not to make the same game as all other games. So our
European
goal is to
NPC4.
I'm curious if you can speak to what the main goals of Reforger is, because it's a little unusual compared to other releases. I mean, for instance, how much content should a player expect?
Tulee aina millaisen aidapsen aksentti, minkä se antaa eurooppalaisille.
Our goals were, of course, to restart
Hello,
the series,
I am from Europe.
Hello, Gordon.
Make room for some new achievements.
Hello, Mario.
Utilize the
Hello,
technology,
Mario.
the art, both in terms of
Super Mario
looks
real
like,
life.
how it's controlled.
Tsekkiläisiä kuulemma taitaa olla näin.
It's important to
Oh,
understand.
sorry.
It may look as a kind of normal game on the surface, but there's a big system behind it. So just the tool suite is a massive tool suite, never tested by a large public. So it's a premiere of a tool suite, and these tools are being built for nearly 5 years now. So we really need users to start using them to keep improving and continue building it.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have one quick question from the Arma fans. Has Russia's invasion of Ukraine impacted your approach to Arma 4 and Arma Reforger, a game that depicts the Cold War?
Well, yes, because it's extremely close to us. We even live in a way very nearby, so definitely. On the other hand, we started work on this many years ago, so the direction was set before. But we always approach conflicts and armed conflicts with a great level of respect. We're still at the beginning, but we definitely would like to continue in our exploring this serious theme.
Arma, as I see it, has always been a bit more of a anti-war game. It's an entertainment product. That's fair thing to admit.
Ei nyt.
And given the topic,
Miten?
given our, let's say,
Tässä siellä huudetaan.
long time spent on it and our ambition
Mullakin
to
tuli vähän isä varmaan
portray it as a all very complex and gritty thing, I would like us to contribute by not just entertaining people but also educating them on the subject. This was the whole point of starting the cooperation with the International Committee of the Red Cross, and I believe we have great potential, big responsibility in this era, and a very important chance to contribute at least a little bit to the good side of things.
This would not be an interview about Arma unless we were asking about modding. I mean, so many amazing games and genres came from Arma mods, so I gotta know what's possible in Reforger that wasn't possible in the past.
Okei, vettä tässä.
Now with this technology, it's possible to create entirely different things, like entirely different games. It has so many variables, but the beauty now is that much more of it is user accessible, unlike the previous games. So people can easily digest how this is constructed in our workbench tools. So unlike previously where it was more hard-coded in the C++ engine, so now they can check the data of every single element of the game and go much, much deeper than in previous games. So this will be super exciting.
Now, I wanted to ask a little bit about performance, because anyone who's played Arma knows that it can get really challenging to get a good frame rate in those massive multiplayer matches. So I'm curious, what expectations should players have about performance leading into Arma 4?
Arma 3 was built on foundations laid down in times of single core and no GPUs basically, so this time much more computations and intensive...
Vieläkin puhutaan Armasta. Just tuli taas Malenia oli just kuolemassa, jos puhelin alkaa soimaan.
Voi ei.
Again, we are in the beginning and we know that there are problems, there are difficulties, but we are solving them.
11 sunnuntaina.
We are really
on tärkeää saada tietää, että voiko maalia sävyttää meillä töissä. Se on nyt tärkeä tietää.
Kyllä.
Nyt
Se suinkaan ei selviä
Miksi
nettisivulta.
Miksi se voinut laittaa viestillä?
Ei.
Miksi? Onko semmoinen mahdollista?
Thank you so much
Ei
again for
selvästi.
Leukemia Interactive.
Ei kun se oli laittanut mulle minuutti sitten haloo ja sitten se soitti. Se aina tekee ton. Vittu ajaa mut ihan hulluuden partaalle.
Just around the corner in the PC gaming show, prepare to experience terror ranging from the subaqueous to the subconscious.
Et vastaa
with the latest
sekunnissa,
from
niin heti on
Shiro
pakko
Games.
soittaa.
Hold on to your butts because front-end development spared no expense on the new Jurassic World Evolution 2 expansion, and get your crowbars ready for Half-Life Alyx Levitation, a special project from some
Half-Life
very
Alyx
talented
Levitation on modi Half-Life Alyxi, mikä on semmonen aika niinku ison profiilin
While we're
modi.
here, quick geography question. Which parts of the world use the most bandwidth for gaming? Answer this question for the folks at Compass Data Centers and it could win you a $500 Razer gift card. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter.
Last year, Shiro Games debuted War Tales at the PC Gaming Show, but the publisher has a lot more than its medieval sandbox RPG on the way. Up next, we'll hear what's up with Shiro's slate of projects, and stick around for the debut of 2 completely new games, Decarnation and Abyssals.
Hey everyone, thank you very much for the invitation, Mika. I'm James, and I can't wait to show you everything that we've got prepared for you.
Croucher.
So it's been a crazy couple of months for everyone here at Shiro Games, with Dune Spice Wars marking the most successful release in the history of the company, and it's entirely thanks to all of you. But today, let's look at Dune Spice Wars multiplayer mode. Up to 4 players can go head-to-head and free-for-all, 2v2, all work together in co-op against AI opponents. We're introducing new synergy systems between factions that will open a vast number of strategies to help you crush your opponents. Multiplayer will be available in Dune Spice Wars very soon. After 5 years and nearly 3 million units sold, Northgard's story finally continues. In a new chapter set shortly after the events of the first campaign, Ragnarok has decimated the lands of Northgard. Long-standing alliances have been broken. Violence and betrayal now plague the continent. Forced to depart what they once called home, our heroes arrive on unknown shores and find themselves confronted by unfamiliar faces in a dangerous new realm. This Northgard expansion arrives this winter. And for all of our War Tales players out there, Cooperative is finally coming to our open world tactical RPG. You share food, gold, and camp with your friends. But you can split up to cover more grounds. Before every fight, devise the perfect strategy to overcome any threats that may stand in your way. But be careful in your approach, as one wrong move may lead to your group's demise. The co-op update will allow you to play between 2 to 4 players, and it will be available this summer.
Et paha kerro sumissa mitään. Se oli sieltä ne personat, mutta ei tullut 1 ja 2.
So a few months ago we announced Shiro Unlimited, a new publishing label created by indies for indies. We are very proud to announce 2 new titles coming from the Shiro Unlimited family.
Semmoista pelaa.
It seemed like our last chance to start again, to escape Earth's devastation.
We used our limited resources to lay the foundations of a new life.
Lay the foundation.
Se tulee siis Xboxille ja PClle niin Persona 3 Portable, Persona 4 Golden ja Persona 5 Royal.
Joista Royale tulee ekana silloin loppuvuodesta.
Joo, lokakuusta taisi olla.
When faced against the darkness of the abyss, we found ourselves helpless, lost,
isolated.
Abyssals. Wow.
Töihin siirtymiseen aikaa 6,5 tuntia.
Aamuja.
Näin menkää kuvaa sen sanomista vittu miten teillä menee. Sano, mä munaa vähän pois. Just on.
Mitäs vitun helvetti täällä on?
Tää nyt se alis.
Vuosit tuli.
Joo.
Uusi alis.
Decarnation.
Thank you very much for sticking with us, everyone. We hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
You just saw why you were exactly right to be afraid of the ocean in Abyssals. And you confronted your inner demons in the retro dream horror of Decarnation. Next up, how do you rebuild a city in a world set after the collapse of civilization? Let's find out how by taking a look at I Am Future from TinyBuild.
Mitäs TinyBuild oli tehnyt?
On tehnyt vaikka mitä.
TinyBuildhan on julkaisija. Auttaa tosi paljon niinku indie-devejä. Muun muassa Yandere-dev yhdessä vaiheessa oli niillä, mutta sitten Yandere-dev ryssi sen niitten liiton.
Warning, hibernation aborted. Your total hibernation time was 6 years, 6 months, 5 days. Welcome to Eden, your new home.
I have no idea where the hell I am. But damn, this place is gorgeous.
TinyBuild, semmoisia pelejä kuin Hello Neighbor 2, Secret Neighbor, Not for Broadcast, Totally Reliable Delivery Service ja Party Hard ja Graveyard Keeper ja Kill It With Fire ja sit saa aika hyvä selvityksen minkä tyylisiä pelejä.
Muutama.
On, näitä oli joku, tässä on joku yli 60 laitettu.
Giga Chad toi.
Jep.
Selvästi voi kalastaa.
Our forefathers conquered Calderia.
Alpha-version foodki.
And bestowed it upon us, a new generation, to share or spar over.
Our great houses seek to obtain the Emperor's favor, cultivating our lands and subjects to improve and enrich the realm, beginning with ourselves, of course.
Prominence can be secured through strength, as well as delicacy.
Will you be able to build your legacy?
Slay ancient beasts.
Valero Umberti. Miksi se kuulosti niin hauskalta nimeltä nyt taas?
And now, for these next trailers, it's true. They do move in herds. That was so much. The thought process is simple. God creates dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, man destroys God. Man creates video games to play with dinosaurs. But just be warned that one of these trailers might come as a bit of a shock to the system.
Hetkinen.
System shock.
Shock to the system. Hetkinen.
Jep.
Onko tää vaan peitti vai ei?
Nyt jos peittaatte. Eikö se pitäis kohta julkaista oikeastaan se eka remake? Remaster
Joo,
remake.
ei se pitäis kaukana enää olla.
Sieltä tuli taas
joku kakkonen taas olisi aika basicki.
Se on hyvä, että mä oon unohtanut sen jatkuvasti, koska sitä ei niinku tuskallisesti odota.
Joka laittaa vitu chattiviesti. Buy Weavers, Followers and Primes on Weavers Shop. Weavers Shop. No, I don't think I will.
Ja bännit.
Yep.
Oh my god.